Alright, Tyler, let's look at a few things here with you coming out of the blocks. Actually, I'd say it's pretty 50-50 with good things and things that you need to work on. Um, Immediately right off the bat, when I'm looking at you in this starting position, I would say that your hands are probably too wide of your shoulders, so you might want to bring them just a little tad in. Remember, they just need to be just a smidge wider than your shoulders. Anything wider than that will start to change where your center of gravity is, pushing out of the blocks. It will lower it, actually. So let's see. Another thing that I think you need to think about is relax a little bit. You're going to see when you come up into your step position, you're extremely tense. Actually, if you look in your elbows here in your shoulders, you see a lot of tension. And then you also see that you are a bit hyperextended here at the elbows, which usually when there's hyperextension, that means there's quite a bit of tension there as well. So make sure you're a little bit more relaxed. You see kind of a rounded back here, which is because, what are we doing here? We're tucking our head underneath. Your head and neck are not neutral to your spine. You want them to be neutral to your spine. Okay, so you need to lift that head just a smidge. That should fix some things there, and that will also flatten out your back a little bit, and kind of make it look like your butt is a smidge higher, because right now everything looks so kind of scrunched and rounded there at the top. Something else that I would change, well, first let's talk about something good that I see. Initially with your push out of the blocks, let's fast forward, you've got a good drive forward, but to me it seems like, we're very quick to put that foot down here, and you need to be careful about that. You want to have some sort of displacement in the air, and when I say displacement, I mean a distinct point in time when we see this foot and this foot completely off the ground and you are suspended in the air. That tells me that you're getting the right push out of the blocks. You start out with actually a pretty decent striking pattern, meaning that you're hitting underneath yourself. So if we kind of fast forward here, you're hitting the ground exactly where I would want you to. You're not ahead of yourself. And what I mean by that is, typically you want to see this shin and this shin being very parallel in this stance. Sometimes when you overstride, what you'll see is this one is normal, and sometimes this angle is more like this, which basically causes striking patterns to stand up, quicker. So you definitely don't want to see that too early on, but you do a good job of this. However, because you were so tense coming out of the blocks in your shoulders, you see that here, okay? Very, very tense, almost as if you're trying too hard to stay low, as opposed to doing what you're supposed to explosively out of the blocks and being relaxed with big ranges of motion and letting that just kind of take care of itself. So down the line here, instead of sticking to what you know, you get to right about here and you start overstriding, okay? Which sometimes at first might make you feel like you're catching up to the person, but ultimately they're going to pull away from you. So you want to stick to what you know about striking the ground in the right spots, as opposed to reaching, which you start to see you try and do right here, and just reaching too far. So if I were you, the biggest thing that you need to take away from this is that you need to focus on stronger and more precise striking patterns, meaning that I want to see you putting stronger forces into the ground and being more precise about where those go. Watching your blocks, watching you sprint, you're obviously powerful, and you've got that down. You're strong. You even have a little bit of a quickness to you. You just need to be more precise and powerful, with where we're putting those strikes into the ground. You need to set yourself up better for the next step and the next step and the next step, and not get ahead of yourself. So really, Tyler, ultimately, as long as you come out of the blocks relaxed, focus on bigger ranges of motion and more powerful, precise striking patterns into the ground, you're going to see a better start. I mean, you got the basics are down. The easiest part, or the hardest part, you've already learned. So you've just got the easiest part left. Just being a little bit more specific about some things. If you have any other questions, you can shoot me a text. You know how to get a hold of me. But we'll rewind this, and we will, oops, there we go. We will play this in slow motion. Sorry, that was my phone. There we go. Slow motion. There we go. So you see a really good reaction time, really good drive, and then we start to reach right in there. So you have to be careful with that. Anyway, good job.